The United States is grappling with a significant increase in illegal immigration. This complex issue has sparked heated debates across the nation. The situation at the southern border is particularly tense, with a record number of people attempting to enter the U.S. illegally. The influx has strained resources and ignited fierce political battles. The Biden administration struggled to handle the surge, facing criticism from both sides of the aisle. Republicans argued for stricter border control measures, while Democrats advocated for more humane treatment of migrants. The situation escalated, leaving many to wonder if a solution could be found. The issue of illegal immigration is not new to the U.S. For decades, successive administrations have grappled with how to manage the flow of people entering the country illegally. The debate often centers around two key questions: how to secure the border and what to do with those who are already living in the U.S. illegally. The Trump administration took a hard line on immigration, implementing a series of policies aimed at deterring illegal entry and increasing deportations. These policies have been met with both praise and condemnation, highlighting the deep divisions that exist on this issue. The Trump administration has made it clear that it prioritizes deporting illegal immigrants over prosecuting them under U.S. law. This approach is presented as a practical solution to managing the large number of undocumented individuals in the country. The administration argues that deportations are the most effective way to discourage future illegal immigration and uphold the rule of law. Critics of the policy argue that it is inhumane and counterproductive. They point out that many of those being deported have been living in the U.S. for years, even decades, and have built lives here. Deporting them, critics say, separates families, disrupts communities, and deprives the U.S. of valuable members of society. The Trump administration's focus on deportations has also led to concerns about due process and the potential for racial profiling. There have been reports of immigrants being detained and deported without adequate legal representation or a fair opportunity to present their case. Additionally, some argue that the administration's policies disproportionately target immigrants of color, raising questions about racial bias in immigration enforcement. The debate over deportation versus prosecution highlights the complex challenges of immigration reform. There is no easy answer, and any solution is likely to be met with both support and opposition. Finding a balanced and humane approach that addresses both the concerns of national security and the rights of immigrants remains a significant challenge for the U.S. The Trump administration's focus on deportations has had a significant impact on federal agencies. Resources have been diverted from other areas of law enforcement to support immigration enforcement efforts. This reallocation of resources has raised concerns about the potential impact on public safety. Federal agents from agencies like the FBI, DEA, ATF, and HSI have been reassigned to immigration duties, diverting them from their traditional roles in combating crime. This shift in focus has led to concerns that other criminal activities, such as drug trafficking, human trafficking, and terrorism, may not be receiving adequate attention. Critics of the administration's approach argue that it is short-sighted and ultimately makes the U.S. less safe. They argue that by diverting resources away from fighting other types of crime, the administration is creating vulnerabilities that could be exploited by criminals and terrorists. They also point out that many of the immigrants being targeted by the administration's policies pose no threat to public safety and are in fact contributing members of society. The Trump administration has defended its reallocation of resources, arguing that it is necessary to address the crisis at the border and enforce immigration laws. The administration maintains that it is committed to keeping the country safe from all threats, both foreign and domestic. However, the decision to prioritize immigration enforcement over other areas of law enforcement remains controversial. The issue of illegal immigration is not unique to the U.S. Countries around the world are grappling with similar challenges, with varying degrees of success and controversy. From Europe to Asia to Africa, governments are struggling to balance the need for border security with the humanitarian concerns of migrants and refugees. In Europe, the recent influx of migrants and refugees from war-torn countries like Syria and Afghanistan has strained resources and fueled political tensions. Some countries have responded by tightening border controls and implementing stricter asylum policies. In Asia, countries like Japan and South Korea have long had strict immigration policies, driven by concerns about cultural preservation and economic competition. However, these countries are also facing demographic challenges, with declining birth rates and aging populations, which may necessitate a rethinking of their immigration policies in the future. The global perspective on immigration control highlights the complexity of the issue and the lack of easy solutions. There is no one-size-fits-all approach, and each country must find its own way to address the challenges and opportunities presented by immigration. However, one thing is clear: the issue of immigration is likely to remain a significant global challenge for many years to come,